So SMEs play a crucial part to the overall success of the UK economy. They account for roughly 99% of all businesses in the UK, contributing around 50% of total revenue to the UK economy. That amounts to around £1.8 trillion. In terms of employment, there's roughly 16 million people employed by SMEs, which is roughly 60% of total employment in the UK. The reason why we use those specific indicators is that we want to have a bit of a mix between indicators that measure the UK economic performance, such as GDP and employment, but then also a few more SME-specific indicators. So we look at SME business confidence, we look at lending to SMEs, which plays a very important part to the development of an SME, especially in the early stages of the business.
The latest index tells us that the health of SMEs is reasonably strong. It sees a substantial bounce back from a very low figure in Q1 and gives us the highest quarterly numbers since the end of 2015. Quarter-on-quarter figures have seen a marked improvement, and that's been driven principally by an increase in lending to SMEs and also a reduction in the levels of bankruptcies. And figures like employment remain very high and give us substantial cause for optimism.
We're hoping that we're going to see more improvements in the SME Health Check Index. Now, at the moment, there's quite a lot of uncertainty with regards to Brexit negotiations. Inflation is obviously still fairly high, and thereby putting some pressure on SMEs. But we're hoping to see further improvements, and I think the employment and lending components in the index are actually pointing to further improvements going forward.
One of the best ways to help SMEs succeed is to lend money to them, and that's very much in line with Clydesdale and Yorkshire Bank's pledge to provide £6 billion of new facilities to SMEs over the next 3 years. We're making good progress on that, so we want to be enthusiastic about lending money to SMEs, tailoring those facilities to sectors, to localities, and most of all to borrowing causes.